Hey everybody, welcome back to the Juniper Links accounting channel. My name's Caroline and today we're going to have a look at part 2 of our limited company essentials course. So this is going to cover business banking and some of the things you might want to consider before picking your actual banking partner. So without further delay, let's jump into my computer and get started. Alright, we are in my computer and we're going to cover business banking. So this is the next step after you incorporate a company, which is why it's part 2 of our limited company essentials course. It's pretty self-explanatory, so let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you really want to do is select who you're actually going to bank with. So your banking partner, as you'd like to say. So most high street banks are absolutely fine. So like all of these options will give you some kind of business bank account and some kind of deal to make it like appealing to set up with them first of all. So there's Lloyds, Barclays, HSBC, NatWest, Santander. There's plenty more as well. So, you know, whoever you like the look of, go ahead with them. And also I got some other options to outline for you in case you're looking for an alternative. So a lot of these will have online applications, and in a lot of cases you will need to go into the branch and set up a meeting with the branch manager or whatever, and to basically open the account because they want to speak with you first of all. Now some of these banks though, however, I know for a fact Lloyds does, and I believe Barclays does as well. They have the option for a phone interview instead. So they may, after receiving your application, just give you a call, double check your details, and then go ahead and open the account without you having to actually physically go into a branch. So that's something to keep in mind, but it's not guaranteed. So we have some other options instead, which are also really good. So Starling Bank and Metro Bank are good options if they're suitable for your business. Now I say that because they have some restrictions to them. For example, Starling will only let you set up a business bank account for a small limited company. Well, they do bigger ones too, but as a small limited company with just one director, Starling Bank is really good. That's what they support. If you have 2 directors or it gets into more complicated things, then it won't be a good fit for you. So just double check. Metro Bank are also good and are really good about you just walking into their branch and trying to set one up with them immediately. So these 2 options may be a bit quicker for you. Otherwise, if you're going to go with a high street bank, the banking partner you use for your personal accounts will set you up usually a bit quicker and less hassle because they already know who you are. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Look out for deals that allow free banking for the first X number of months. These are all different. Some of them could be 18 months. Some of them could be just like the first 12 months, whatever. But a lot of them will allow free banking. And then after the free banking period ends, you have to check what fees they have. So most of them are around £6 to £7 per month. And that's kind of what you expect for banking. Now, there's some options that do not have this, and I will go into them in a second, but keep in mind what you're using the account for as well. So if you're doing international payments, local payments, whatever, just remember if you need something like a euro account, a US dollar account as well. I know Barclays can help out with those sorts of things and give you the appropriate account numbers and sort codes for those to get paid in dollars or euros if you're doing international transactions. Also, on the other note, Starling Bank, you can withdraw money in other currencies without incurring a transaction fee because of the foreign currency. Same with purchasing items. Double check their actual wording of what the account includes because they keep changing, so I can't keep on top of the things all the time, but if I do notice something, I'll let you know. And you can always open more than one business account if you need it. Now, I will get into why a bit later this might happen. But if you're getting a fair amount of money in your current business account and you're looking to open a savings account, for example, that's a really good option, basically. That's one example that it would be perfect to open more than one business account. Number 2, what bank do we recommend? So we've had very positive feedback from our clients trying out Starling Bank. And it's an app bank that can open a business account within 24 hours. So they don't require you to go into a branch. There's no interview, nothing like that. Your money is also protected up to the 85,000, just like every other high street bank. So they are a legitimate bank that you can use. without the hassle of dealing with a bank. They also have a support chat stuff in their app that you can use to contact them if you've got issues, but generally speaking, it's fairly easy to set up. So if you're just a regular client, you've just set up a company and you're looking to set up a business bank account as the only director and shareholder in the business, it's perfect for that. So, and it's currently free to open and maintain, which is also a bonus. So you won't have they may bring in fees later, I don't know for sure, but at the minute it's free to maintain and open. So if you're looking into something a bit different than a bank, like your traditional bank where you have to go into a meeting and an interview and talk to people at the branch and sort out your stuff, it's a bit old school, and you want something new, then Starling Bank is a good option. Metro Bank is also going along those lines, so just check them both out and see which one looks better to you. Now, when can I open one? And what I mean by this, when can you actually open a bank account? So we need to wait for Companies House to incorporate your company. This is why it's the next step. You cannot do anything without your company documents. So once that's done, then you can go ahead and once that's done, then you can go ahead and create the bank account. So the bank provider will need to find your company's name and number on Companies House, and they'll also need to see the shareholders in the company, so who controls the business and also the directors and stuff like that. So sometimes there's a delay with the high street banks updating their systems with this information. So if you're trying right after the company has been opened and they're saying they can't find your information, don't be scared. It's quite normal. Just wait a few days and see if you can do it then. That's all I would say. I've experienced this issue myself. Other people have experienced this issue, so it's nothing to worry about. It's just a delay in their systems updating, that's all. And if you start with 2 company directors, then you can add them both to the account to be able to control everything. You just have to add them onto the application. And yeah, double check that your bank will actually allow 2 directors, because that is a bit more complicated. Why is business banking essential? So your company requires its own bank account, for sure, because it is a separate legal entity and it needs somewhere to keep its assets. Your clients will also need to pay the company somehow. It's no good using a personal account. It's going to cause so many issues. And I'm going to get into something here in a minute if you're worried about whether or not you can open a business bank account. Do not use a personal account. It's just really not smart and it's going to cause so many problems later on. You're way better off opening a bank account, and I will show you some other options if you're not able to open a traditional account. So what if I have bad credit? So you can still find some accounts that'll work for you. Granted, they're not going to be as exciting or interesting as some of the other options that we've just looked through, but there are some nevertheless. Cash Plus, and I'm sure some of you have heard of this. So this account is basically a prepaid debit card. You just pay a fee to set it up and then it's done. The only downside is that there is a cap on the total income you can have in the account. It's something like £15,000, but basically it's not very high, and you're gonna need to look into opening a different account for actual cash options, because there's just simply not enough in here, or you have to take it out, which is kind of a pain in the butt with a limited company because it's going to count as taking income. But essentially there is another account as well if you can get it. It's called Tide. It's another non-bank option. So what I mean by this, Cash Plus is not a real bank, Tide is not a real bank. They don't protect your money in the same way as a real bank does, but that's okay because they have a function too. So Tide is more or less like an actual bank without the protection. So I could most similarly related to Starling Bank, apart from that they're not a bank. It's an app. It's fairly straightforward to use. Should be hassle-free to start the application and get it done, because all they do is ID check for anti-money laundering, according to their FAQ. So they don't do an actual credit check that will affect your credit history. So if that's something you're worried about, you can go ahead and try opening Tide. You should hear back very soon if they can or cannot open an account. That's another option to look into instead of Cash Plus, and they should both be pretty quick to set up. Cash Plus is extremely fast. I mean, it's like same day, I think, and then they just issue your debit card later in the post. The other options I've got here, so I have contacted all 3 of these banks here and have looked into their actual terms and such. They've all confirmed that they may be able to help depending on your situation. They can't guarantee an account, of course, but if you go in and visit the branch and speak with the branch manager to help you open an account, they may be able to work something out for you. I know Barclays has a basic bank account, like no overdraft, nothing like that. Kind of help to see if it's a good fit, basically. If you're struggling for time, you can try and set up a Cash Plus or Tide account first of all, and then look into setting up one of these other proper bank options, which will obviously protect your money better and also give you a bigger balance, unlike the Cash Plus account. So that's kind of what to look for when you're opening a business bank account. For most people, it'll be a very simple process. It's just a case of filling out an application and then setting up the account. Starling's a bit simpler, which is why we recommend them. Their applications is much shorter and their ID checks are much easier to deal with. And also you don't have to go into a branch, which takes up extra time that a lot of people don't have. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Other than that, I mean, most of the other applications should be fairly straightforward. They're just going to be basic questions about what does your business do, where does it trade, blah, blah, blah. What's the name of the company? Find it on Company's House, link it to us, you know, that kind of thing. And it'll be not too difficult. It's only difficult, or not difficult, but it's only more annoying when you have poor credit or something in your history that could affect it, because they do credit score you basically to open the account. And keep that in mind when you're looking at this stuff. But I think I've covered all of the options, or most of them at least. But if I did miss something out, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks so much for watching this video. And coming up next is part 3. So that's going to be the next step after you got the company set up and the business banking set up. So again, limited company essentials course, and we'll get back to it as soon as we can. So I will see you in the next one. Hey guys, thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video. If you did like it or found it helpful, feel free to click that like button underneath the video. And also, if you had any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. And also, if you are looking forward to more of our course videos, then feel free to subscribe, because I will be adding them on as quickly as I can, basically. And and hopefully you'll get to find out more about how to run your own limited company, the essentials of it. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.